Every night, as you close your eyes and drift away from the waking world, your mind begins to paint, not on paper, but in the vast canvas of imagination. You fly without wings, you meet people who don't exist, you visit places you've never been, and sometimes you wake up with tears or laughter or fear. It feels real, but it's not. It's a dream. And for thousands of years, humans have asked the same question: why do we dream? Is it random? Is it meaningful? Or is your brain trying to tell you something you can't see while you're awake? Let's start with a mystery that still puzzles scientists today. Every night, your brain cycles through different stages of sleep, from light sleep to deep sleep, and then into REM sleep, short for rapid eye movement. That's when most vivid dreams occur, when your brain is almost as active as when you're awake. Your body lies still, paralyzed, but your mind is wide awake in another world. So what's happening in there? For a long time, scientists thought dreams were just the random firing of neurons, a byproduct of the sleeping brain, nothing more than static, meaningless noise. But as neuroscience evolved, we began to see a pattern, a reason behind the madness. When you dream, your brain isn't resting. It's rewiring. It's processing emotions, solving problems, organizing memories, and sometimes rehearsing for the future. In one experiment, researchers taught people a simple maze. Half slept afterward, half didn't. When they were tested later, the ones who slept and dreamed performed twice as well. Why? Because while they slept, their brain replayed the experience, quietly strengthening connections, pruning irrelevant details, and reshaping what they had learned. In a way, dreams are your brain's overnight therapy session, and your subconscious is the therapist. But dreams aren't just about memory, they're also about emotion. Have you ever noticed that dreams often pull up feelings, fear, sadness, joy, longing, that you've buried deep during the day? That's not an accident. When you sleep, the emotional center of your brain, the amygdala, stays active, while the prefrontal cortex, the logical part, takes a break. This gives your mind the freedom to explore emotions without judgment, without rules, without reason. Dreams are the space where your heart finally speaks when your mind stops talking. Sometimes dreams even solve problems. In 1869, the chemist Kekule dreamed of a snake eating its own tail and woke up realizing the ring structure of the benzene molecule. Composer Paul McCartney heard the melody of Yesterday in a dream, and Mary Shelley dreamed of a scientist who created life and wrote Frankenstein. Maybe creativity doesn't come from logic at all. Maybe it's born in a mysterious workshop of the dreaming mind. Still, some scientists argue that dreams are just evolutionary leftovers, a kind of neural theater where your brain rehearses survival. When you dream about running from danger or losing someone you love, you're practicing emotional and physical responses that might help you handle stress in real life. Dreams, in that sense, are mental simulations, test runs for reality. But what about the darker side? Nightmares. They're not just random terrors. They're your mind's way of processing unresolved fears. When trauma strikes, your brain often replays it in distorted forms, trying to make sense of what happened. It's painful, but necessary, because emotional healing often begins in the dream world long before it happens in the waking one. Dreams don't just entertain you, they teach you, they heal you, they prepare you. And then there's lucid dreaming, the rare state where you realize you're dreaming and can control what happens next. Imagine being the director of your own subconscious movie, flying, shaping landscapes, talking to your fears. Lucid dreamers often describe it as the most vivid, profound experience of their lives, and scientists believe it may even help treat anxiety, nightmares, and trauma. Because when you control the dream, you also learn to control your mind. But even with all these studies, one mystery remains. Why do dreams feel so real? During REM sleep, the same regions that create sensory perception, vision, sound, touch are active. Your brain doesn't imagine reality, it builds it. The only difference between waking and dreaming is where the input comes from. When you're awake, your senses feed your brain. When you dream, your brain feeds itself. You are both the author and the audience of your own nightly story. Yet beyond the science, there's something more poetic about it. Dreams remind us that our minds are not just machines, they're mysteries. They hold memories we've forgotten, emotions we've buried, and worlds we've never seen until night falls. Every dream is a mirror, reflecting not the world outside, but the world within. Sometimes that mirror shows beauty, sometimes it shows chaos, but either way, it's showing truth. Maybe that's why dreams have fascinated humans for millennia. Ancient Egyptians believed dreams were messages from the gods. The Greeks thought they revealed the future. Freud saw them as windows into our unconscious desires. And today, neuroscientists see them as biological maintenance, the brain's way of keeping itself in balance. Maybe they're all right, because dreams can be divine, prophetic, psychological, and biological all at once. So, why do we dream? Maybe to remember, maybe to forget, maybe to heal, maybe to grow, or maybe because consciousness can't bear silence, because even when our bodies rest, our minds refuse to stop creating, imagining, exploring, wondering. Dreams remind us that we are more than flesh and bone. We are storytellers, even in our sleep. So tonight, when you close your eyes and drift into that hidden world, remember this: you're not escaping reality. You're exploring another side of it, a world where logic fades and imagination takes the wheel. Because your dreams aren't just random flickers of thought, they're messages, from your night mind to your waking self. And if you listen closely, you might just discover that the world inside your head is as infinite, as strange, and as beautiful as the one outside it.